Okay, I decided to, after digging around in some of my stuff, work on a project that I started probably about 30 years ago. And I never finished. I quit on it because I transferred from the shop into the office area, so I didn't have a chance to work on it at work. And I didn't have machines at home at the time. But this is what I started on. I started on building a couple lathes. Now, don't laugh. I don't know why I was thinking that I was going to build a right hand and a left hand lathe. You'll see this one's backwards to this one. And this is the book that I was following. Building a small lathe, and it's by Argus Books Ltd. in Hertfordshire, England. Anyway, there's the address if you want to. I don't know if they're still in business or still producing this book, but I've got the bed made of the lathe, and I was working on the tailstock. I got the hand wheel, got the spindle. I got the spindle except for I need to put the taper in it, and I need to attach it to the slide or to the carriage or whatever you want to call it. So I got to figure out a way of attaching that. I see I've got holes marked out, center punched, but if I go ahead and put the holes in here first and then transfer them into this, how do I transfer them and get them in the right position? You know what I mean? Suppose I could check the distance from the two to the center, and then this to the center the way it sits on there. I'm thinking about it, but I kind of wish I wouldn't have center punched those holes or those marks. I suppose I could stone them down and then put the holes in this first, and then just move it off a little bit from the marks that are originally there, because that way I could, line it up in there, put some transfer screws in, and then give it a wrap. Although there is no play at all. This is set almost perfect to the to the height, so there is no play in it. So how do I do that? Maybe the best thing is to go ahead and drill these and then measure from here to the center line, and measure from here to the center line, and then I can just put some gauge blocks underneath and then transfer the screw holes. That sounds like the plan. I hope that's the plan. But anyway, I need to go and order myself some steel, because the next thing to work on in here would be the carriage. This is the tailstock that I'm working on right now. And there we go. There's the carriage. The carriage drawings. This is the top plate. And this is the front to do the lead screw too, which is an Acme thread. I have Acme tool, thread cutting tool in my toolbox for that. I used it for the tailstock already many years ago. Like I say, it's been stuck in my toolbox. And here's the front plate. That must attach up here. This attaches up here apparently, and the screw goes through. I have to study it because I haven't looked at this in, like I said, 30 years. When I first started this project, when I first started playing with this. No, this isn't that. This is the end piece. I'm gonna sit down and read too. Read the. Yeah, see this. This is the top plate that goes on the bed. Here's the. I'll have to ID thread. I don't know if I have an ID threading tool for Acme thread. I'll have to make one. It's either that or buy taps. I'm just not going to buy taps. I'll make one and then make a tool and then single point it on the lathe. So this is quarter inch thick, and this is, I would gather, would be a 1/4 inch thick also. Nope, that's down to an 1/8 inch thick. So I need to order some 1/4 inch stock or go buy some, because I don't know if I have any. Although, you know what, I would just rather go with 1/2 inch stock. And then that way I can mill that out. That way I can mill the top. Just thinking out loud here. Well, let's not worry about that. Let's get the tailstock all fixed up. And what size screws are those? And these are all British. So I'm sure it's all metric. So it's all. I'm sure it's calling out metric screws. Building a small lathe. Geez, I remember when I first started this. Like I say, it's over 30 years ago, I believe. A friend of mine built one. That's how I got a hold of the book. And he built it in school, in trade school. A nice little lathe. And I got all fired up. I was going to build it, you know. And 2BA. So, I think I'm going to go with 440s in there. Yeah. Yep, 440 screw holes. And screw holes are 1/2 inch in on each side. So it's this one and this one. Correct? Yep. So The inside ones, the inside four is what I'm gonna be. What if I got a 440 flush head screws? Let me go look and see what I got for flush head screws, so I don't have to counterbore it. It'd be a flush head screw instead. I have a few over in my cabinets over there. I'm not sure if I've got 440s. I have. Button head, hex head, hex head. I got 256s that are. What I do have some 440s. I do have 440 stainless steel. And they're 3/8 long. So I think these would work out. Wouldn't be a lot of thread, but unless I countersink it extra deep. Oh, I got some extra back here too. There's 440. Those would work. All right. That's the plan. Take that off and take that tailstock mount off. I remember I spent a lot of time on the grinder grinding. I ground the side plates and these all up and ground this and set it all up and bolted it together. And this was perfectly flat. Let me check to see if after all these years, if it is still flat. Maybe that's where I should start first, huh? It's that many years, like a goop or something on the oil. See if I can get a dial gauge. If I can figure out where I've done with that. I haven't been out here in quite a while, as you know. I wish everybody a Merry Christmas too. It's coming up. It's only a few days away, a couple days away. By the time you see this video, it'll only be a couple days away. I don't plan on doing any editing on this video, so it'll be as it is on the camera. Where would have I put that? Okay, I found one. I took one off of my other indicator out of a box. I don't know. I'm going to check her here. I'm going to take this off of the big tripod and set you over there closer so you can see what I'm seeing. And we'll go across it for the first time here. I haven't done this yet. Wow, indicator was set pretty close. Set that on 0. Oops. 0. Let's see if you can. I should have something sitting here. Just a minute here. Set my notebook up over here. That'll help. Okay, we're at 0 there. come across. Ooh. Ooh. That's like 3 thou. Wait a minute, it's wiggling here. Oh. See what I see? You got a piece of paper or Kleenex or something underneath it. Looks like a torn piece of something. All right, that better? Still feel a little bit of a jiggle there. I might have to tip it over and run the stone over the bottom. So now we gotta go down up to 0. That's better. Now it's the other way. About 1.5 thou. Let's go down the other end. See what we got here. We got 2 thou there. My indicator's going to fall off the table here. About 1.5 thou here also, same way. How about this way up? So let's tip it over and look at the bottom. Sliding it around, it feels good, but I do feel a little bit of a wiggle in it. Let's see how much that wiggle is. Yeah, see how much rock we got on it. See, I push here, then push over here. See right there. Got about 1 thou. So the bottom needs to be stoned. So what I'll do is I'll set you up here. Take a look at the bottom of it. I think the last time I looked at the bottom, it looked pretty good, pretty clean. When I set them over here, I see some scratch marks here. That might be doing it. It's got to be something in the middle because it's rocking. I'm going to let's set this over here. Somewhere. Trying to figure out a spot to set it. Camera underneath it. It won't fall off. See that working? There we go. I put a block underneath it. I'm turning the camera around here so you can see what I'm doing. Basically, all I'm going to do is get a stone, and we'll put some WD-40 on it. Where'd my WD-40 go? A little squirt bottle here, or a little eyedropper bottle. Yeah, we'll just put a little dab of WD-40 on it. Oop, I felt something right there. You can usually feel the high spots if you're careful. This was packed away, or I mean up on the shelf, so it wasn't off the shelves. Can't blame it for getting knocked around because it didn't get knocked around. I thought I felt something right here, so that might have been it. Because it should be, they should be, it should be almost dead on, because when I was building this, I was pretty careful at that. Making sure that everything, I spent a lot, like I said, I spent a lot of time on the grinder, getting everything at the base. You gotta have a good foundation to build something, especially a tool, a machine tool. Gotta have a good foundation, and then go from there. Just like building a house, gotta have a good foundation. All right, let's put it back up there, and we'll take this book out of the way. Too many things in the way here. And we'll take it and slide it on. Could have been something on the table too, I guess. I'm wiping the table with my hand a little bit. Alright, let's see what we got. And move it in all the way so I got room for my indicators. Let's go down here. Oh, let's get that book back there so you can see. Light is not giving us a good. You can see it's about a half a thou. Get it right on 0. Okay, go down the other end. Oh boy, I made it worse. Still got a little bit of a wobble to it. Front is good. Front is pretty straight all the way. If I put that on 0 there, that corner, and put the front corner back here, half a thou. Well, all in all, it has stayed pretty stable. And what was I going to do? Oh, I was going to go and drill the holes in that. The four inside holes. Let's go over to the mill. And I don't know what these are. This is some more of the stuff that I picked out of the father-in-law's shed, and I'm not exactly sure what these are for. If anybody out there knows what that's, if you know what these are for, let me know. It's got a TJ 53 up here in the corner, part of the casting, and it's hollow underneath. It's got a window there. You can see I haven't cleaned them up. They're as they were when they were in his shed. They were laying laying on the ground in his shed, and I picked them up, and I go, well, these got to be for something. So I'll hang on to them until I figure out what the heck they are for. These are also laying in his stuff. Yeah, over the years, he has picked up a lot of stuff. You wouldn't believe the amount of stuff that he has picked up. If you found one, you found maybe 7 or 8 of them. You know, like these old padlocks. I remember him asking me to make a key for one of these. So I made a bunch of keys for him. So I got the keys yet. So I have the keys and stuff, but the Burlington Northern Railroad locks. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and then I think I got a couple more in the drawer over here. The ones that I used to pattern the key out of. What I did was I carefully opened one up and then made the key. And then when I made the key, I made a bunch of them. I wrote another thing that I wrote a program for, and used the program to cut the little tang that goes around to unlock them. I can show you what I'm talking about here. So I got them in the drawer over here. Won't let them grow away either. Like this here. I stood a piece of round, or I think it was a piece of square stock up like that, and then went around it with an end mill to mill the top. Then I stuck it in a lathe and turned that. And then I went ahead and milled the end for it. And just to show you that they do work, that it does work. I got, I think 3 or 4 of these keys. There we go. Unlocked. Locked. You see these at around here. You see these at the flea markets and stuff, but they're always locked and no key. So I have the keys. I got like 4 or 5 of them in the drawer there. Yep. Let's get at what we're doing here. Quit horsing around. I gotta bring the tripod over here so I can mount it up here so I can got a free hand to do stuff. I can't hang on to the phone and do anything at the same time. I'm using the phone for right now. That way I can upload it. That's why I'm not gonna do any editing on it. I'm just gonna upload it the way it is on the way I record it on the phone. 2 drills laying here, and I don't know what sizes they are. Oh, well, it's from something I was working on a while way back. This is number 70. Not from my drill set. What's this other one? This other one is a 137. 136. Not from the drill set either. All right. So for a 440 screw, what is the clearance hole for it? Probably 115. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna use. 115 or around there. Well, let's see, 116 will do. I should take and use my drill press vise. I haven't used that in ages, and I'm not even sure where it's at. Huh. Well, I guess not. Don't know what I done with it. It's around here somewhere. See, now I would do this. No air. Air leaked out. So now I gotta turn my compressor on and make noise. Normally I would do this, dimensionally with a readout. Now, see, when I was doing this, we had readouts. I was thinking that we didn't have any readouts at work, but we did. We had readouts on the machines. I don't know why I didn't do it dimensionally instead of doing it this way. Dimensionally, I would have just went to the dimension and boom, been done with it. I'm going to set up a stop because they should. What am I setting a stop for? Well, I can do the second one. The second one will be the same way. I'm so confused. Still got a lot of work to do out in my shed. I got to get 220 run into it, and then I got the test stand for testing alternators and generators and stuff is still at my father-in-law's. I don't want to tighten that up too tight because I don't mess up the setting that I have here. Let's get shorter parallels. I don't want to tighten it up anyway. I want to let it float around. This is the first day that I've actually been out in the shop actually doing anything. I haven't done anything in quite a few days out here that anything of. I couldn't figure out what motor that I wanted to work on next. So, and then when I seen these sitting on the shelf, I go, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll play around on that with them. Yeah, I don't want to tighten it any tighter than that. I'll let it float around. All right, let's get over here and get close. That'll work. And we'll slide over to this one. There should be, nope, we won't be able to flip it around. I was thinking maybe I could flip it around and get to these, but they're going to be at a different distance from the, let me get the other one off of the other lathe. Yeah, I don't know why I decided to, it was just the goofiness in me, I guess, that I was going to make one left-handed, one right-handed. With a headstock on the right side on one and the headstock on the left side on the other. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But I'm going to continue on with that plan, I guess. This is a 216. Well, I might have to, well, no, I can't use it for positioning anyway. I think I'll do is I'll clamp the tailstock onto this plate and line it all up and then transfer it with transfer punches. I might have to make a transfer punch. I don't think I have anything down to that size. All right, let's crank out here to this one. Up just a little bit. I'm just watching the drill move, if it moves into the, according to the center punch marks. And I'm just going to open the vise up just a little more so it can float around. There we go. I got the dowel holes punched, or center punched also. One thing, it's nice being able to see again without, you know, before everything was so fuzzy and it was hard to, it was even hard to see center punch marks like that. And now I can see. Doesn't mean that I'm going to be a better machinist or anything. It just means I can see. I actually should have went 1/8 inch because I might have an 1/8 inch. Let me check. I might have an 1/8 inch transfer punch. What do I have here? I have a 7/64. What's that? I don't know what size. I don't know fractions off the top of my head, so you have to bear with me. Yeah, that's a 109. So that if I did that with the 764s, it's going to be a little sloppy in there, I believe. Get away from me. I'm going to have to run the demagnetizer on it the way it looks. That can be a little sloppy. A little sloppy, I think. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with an 1/8 inch, since I do have an 1/8 inch transfer punch. I thought I was missing my little ones here. I haven't used them in a long time. A lot of those tools I haven't used in a long time. Alright, 125. We're just going to double drill them. Drill to 125 now. And then we'll go into this one. The 1/8 inch transfer punch would fit in there really nice. Alright. I think I did the other side. I did do those, right? Yep. Alright. So that means now we clean them up. Well, I don't have to mount them. It's going to be surface plate work, because what I'll do is I'll go over in the surface plate, mount that up, and see, yeah, this side goes to the back. This is the back. This is the front. And we'll set them on there like that. We'll set it on there like that and line it all up. And what I'll do is I'll put this on the lathe, and I'll check the distance from here to the center line. And once I know that, then I'll set this up, and I'll check the distance from here, from the center line to here. Right? Once I know that, I'll know what kind of block to put underneath here. And I'll set gauge blocks underneath here. And I'll set it up like that. And then are these centered on there? I think they are. I think they're centered. Let me see. They're 10 thou off, which is no big deal. I can live with 10 thou. So I'll put these on here and I'll center it within 10 thou. and transfer the holes. But before we do that, we got to go in and countersink all these on the back side. We need to countersink these for the screws back here. And I don't know if I've got a countersink that'll go into there. Let me see. Will this one go in here? Boy, just barely. Oh, that's not cool. It's not cool to be throwing stuff on the floor. All right, I need to get the other drill chuck in there. Oh. Okay, these are single flute 82-degree countersinks. I'll tighten that up good. Over here. And here I want to set a stop so that they're all the same. I don't want to have to guess on each one. I want to get them the first one set and then make them all the same. So we'll set the stop up there. It really looks nice outside, but it's only like 10 degrees. So it's pretty cool out. All right, lock that. Turn the thumb screw on up all the way. So let's just take and crank this up. See, now if I was smart, I would know at 82 degrees that if I sat down and calculated it out, how much to crank this up. I'm just going to crank it up about 20 thou or so. See how it goes. It looks centered. I might have to slow the RPM down. I wonder if I can go in the low range. Yeah, I'm going to go in low range. Let's go another 20. Nope. Gotta go the right way. I got a screw here. Put in there. Just get a little oil. I'll just use some SA30 oil. Pretty close. I think that was about 60 thou that I went up. Actually, yep, 60 thou. I'm going to go up 80 thou. Another 20. This countersink probably hasn't been used in 30 years. I don't use those countersinks very often. I think I'm going to go a little more because I want to keep the head under. I want to make sure that it's under that surface. So I'm going to go 10 more. That's 90 thou that I went. I was just thinking, maybe the smarter thing to do would have been to transfer those holes before I do that, because I got more of a now. Let's just see what the difference is. You know what I'm saying? It's got more land before I countersink it, so it can't wiggle around too much. But afterwards, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to wait on my countersink and I'm going to leave that alone. I'm not going to do the rest of them. I want to set up and transfer the holes into the tailstock head before I do that. Because that way it'll absolutely hold the center punch straight up and down instead of a little bit of a. It doesn't have much, being as we double drilled it, but it's got a little bit. So, and plus, you take away the tip of the center punch, so now you only got half of that land, so you're only locating on about 50 thou of that to transfer that hole. And those holes I want transferred pretty close, because these screws are going to locate that. These countersunk screws will locate the tailstock head, and you don't want them to be off. And that's, I had center punch for dowels. I don't need no dowels if I use flush head screws. So, I'm going to cut away here, and when I get things set up on the surface plate, and I'll show you how I'm doing it.